Good morning and welcome to another pre-market review session with the Market Trader. My name's Ray, the Market Trader. And before we begin, we'll need to review our risk disclosure. So we'll go ahead and do that. So just want to remind that the content that's being published and distributed by the Market Trader and its affiliates is to be treated as general information only. None of the information provided by the company contained herein is intended as investment advice and offered to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, or fund. We all understand that the use of this information is to be used at your own risk, and the company's partners, representatives, agents, employees, contractors assume no responsibility or liability for any use or misuse of this information. Futures trading does carry a fair amount of risk, not fair to an investor. Investor could potentially lose all or more of their investment capital. Only risk capital money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle should be used for trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation or an offer to buy, sell futures, options, or Forex, and past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so just kind of, I guess, one, sound check, two, visual check, I guess. Just want to make sure that you guys can indeed hear me. Okay, thank you, Dirk. All right, so let's go ahead. Check. All good, excellent. All right, so let's go ahead and turn our attention, guys, over to our news portal here. And we're going to take a look and see what news has in store for us, okay, today. All right, so we'll take a look at that. And so here we are. Hopefully you guys can see that. So we have initial jobless claims, okay? So it actually came in better than expected. Looks like we've came in below expectations, all right, as far as claims go. That's positive. GDP was higher quarter over quarter. Durable goods higher. GDP price index also positive. So a lot of positive news here. Okay, continued jobless claims actually came down. And let's see. So a fair amount of news that have been injected into the markets. Markets so far appear to have reacted negatively to the news. Okay, which seems kind of opposite of what we would expect, to be honest. But in any case, we don't necessarily trade the news. We want to be aware of the news so that we know how it's impacting or how it could impact the markets. Okay, so to kind of close out the day, we still have a fair amount of news today. We have U.S. existing home sales coming in at 10 a.m. today. We have some Fed members speaking here starting at 9 a.m. And then I think we have another member here at 10 a.m. We have some meetings with some leaders. Turkey is coming in. Leader from Turkey, President Erdogan, is meeting with President Trump here at 11 a.m. All right. We have a 7-year bid to cover reporting here at 1 p.m. And again, more Fed members speaking, and then we have, I guess, to close out the day, earnings from Costco. Okay, so fair amount of news today. A fair amount of news has already been reported already, and like I said, it's just kind of looking at the ticker here so far. I'm just kind of looking at, yeah, it looks like that has had so far a negative impact on the markets. All right. So let's go ahead and do just that. Let's take a look at the markets and see what the markets have to offer here, and see what kind of context we can secure in anticipation of the open of the U.S. session here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open up my charts here. We're going to go ahead and start with the gold. Again, I'm going to and see if we're all muted again. No, I'm not muted. Okay. All right. So it might be internet on your end. Okay. Might be internet on your end. I don't know how stable the internet is on your end. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay, so I wanted to take a look here. We'll start off with the gold market here. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Faye. All right, let's see if I can get to the gold. I tapped that twice. Here. GC. All right, we'll give this a little bit of time here to load. All right, so there's the gold. We're going to go ahead and open up the daily chart here. All right, looking at the daily chart. All right, so I guess this is the first day we've gotten some, I would say, relatively strong bearish action. It looks like we've opened the day also with relatively bearish action. Not as strong as yesterday, but the day is still young, right? So looking at the charts here, again, you can see that maybe there is a little bit of slowdown to this upward advance that we've been seeing in the gold of late. Okay, you're seeing more participation, right? A little bit more participation on the sell side. So we are seeing maybe a little bit of slowdown of the advance here in this market. Okay. So again, we have a developing candle that is coming across as bearish again. Okay, in today's market. All right, so let's take a look at the 4-hour. Yeah, September has been too good. Yes. Taking a look at the 4-hour. Okay, so you can see in the 4-hour, you can see that we're starting to develop a little bit of structure here. I'm going to turn off initial balance here for a moment. Okay, so we're starting to see that we're starting to maybe begin to develop some structure here to the downside. Okay, so we have a little bit of leg lower, got a little bit of a pullback. We broke an area of support. Now we are again below an area of what was supportive. We made another attempt to go higher. Yet again, found some sellers, and right now we're developing yet another bearish candle here on the 4-hour chart. So daily showing some slowdown. 4-hour is giving us even more indication that maybe we are looking to maybe head lower in this market, right? So an obvious area here, right? When I look at areas for where price could go, I'm always looking at these pockets of low volume, right? So it seems natural to me that we could potentially fill in these areas of the profile, okay, and spend some time kind of filling in this area to kind of maybe fix the volume profile here a little bit, right? So 3740, okay, from the current levels does not seem, let's see, 37, yeah, 3730, yeah, 3740, 3736 does not seem out of the realm of possibility here, okay, to price. Now, as you guys know by now, that oftentimes these high volume nodes act as magnets to price, okay? So again, 4-hour, again, is giving me some indication that maybe there is a little bit of room here to the downside, okay? So 3740 is kind of what I'm seeing right now as maybe a potential target for this move, right? 3740 does not seem out of the realm of possibility here. Okay. Moving into the 30-minute chart. So looking at the 30-minute chart, again, we're getting more and more evidence of bearish price action. Okay. So again, we are developing, I guess, as a result of the news, right? I guess some of the positive news, which I guess maybe is translated into some of the reaction we're getting currently in the gold market. Okay, so again, we are seeing some lower lows, lower highs, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Okay, so we're beginning to see a pattern here. We're seeing that there is a good amount of participation, right? Good amount of participation in this current move to the downside. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's take a look at kind of what the overnight offered us. So let's start with let's see. Today is Thursday. Okay, we're looking at the 30-minute. So I'm going to take a look here at let's open up the initial balance. We're going to take a look at Asia to start and see what Asia was able to do with this market here. So let's take a look. All right, let's change it to Asia. Okay, take a look at Asia. All right, so you can see that Asia, right? So Asia was initially down, right? Initially down. We got a move that led us to the 100% extension of this initial balance range. We reacted positively, right? And kind of back and up and above the initial balance to the high side, right? So again, giving us kind of an indication that we've been in some sort of range, right, in the gold. Moving into London, looks like as I was kind of witnessing, we're seeing maybe a break below, right? We got to the highs, unable to make new highs. So what did the market have to do? Well, locate some buyers, right? Locate some buyers in the market, right? So far, we're kind of I don't know, as a result of the news, we got a little bit of a catalyst, right? That's driving price lower here. Okay. So let's take a look at fixed range volume profile. Let's get a sense for where price is in relation to today's pricing. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and select this here, drag this across to here. All right. So you can see here that we were in some sort of area of balance. And with this current candle, looks like we've gotten some initiative price action that appears that they want to drive price lower. Okay. Now we do have some supportive areas that we're coming into. This is maybe a minor one here at 37.63. We have another level here at I guess the lows of the New York, right? Yesterday, right? Close here at 37.49. All right. So we came down to this level, found some buyers, but buyers weren't able to take the market all that much higher. Okay. Before it found some sellers again. So again, giving us maybe some indication of maybe some sellers in the market. Now, I would say that this area right here would be a relatively important area for the bulls to hold. Okay. If not, then I think it opens the door for maybe some further exploration of price further lower, right? So we have really not made any significant highs. We haven't really broken any structure here to the upside above some of these levels that we were around 3,800 or and such, right? So those areas are now serving as some area of resistance to price. Okay. Looks like we are getting a little bit of maybe price action, maybe some nibbling on the buy side here around 37.67. So it will be interesting. It will be interesting here over the next 3 or 4 minutes whether we do close below the initial balance range for London. Okay, because that could eventually lead us to maybe another leg lower. Let's take a look at the initial balance for the current session. So we do have what appears to be a relatively wide initial balance range as a result of the news that we received today, right? So relatively wide initial balance could pose some issues, right, to extend that range, right? So we're probably easily double what we normally get as far as a range for gold. Okay. So it'll be interesting to see if we have the participants to drive price outside this range. So we might be in for potential range day today. Given that we have a wide initial balance range, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for participants to drive price. Not impossible, but a little bit more difficult for participants to drive price outside the initial balance range. So headed into the session, I would say that I'm probably leaning a bit more bearish than I have in some time in the gold. Okay, given some of the price structure that we've seen of late. I'm going to be looking to see what kind of reaction we get off of this 37.50 level. If we do get some sort of 3-bar reversal pattern, whether we maybe create another leg higher in the market. If not, then I'm looking, if we can't hold 37.50, I think again it opens up the door for price to certainly get down to 3,700. Okay, it would be the next logical stop for this market. Okay, so headed into the session, given this kind of bearish price action that I'm seeing in the overnight, and currently, I would say that I'm coming in a bit more bearish than I have been in some time in the gold. Okay, all right. Let's take a look at the crude oil market. Okay, crude oil market. Looking at the crude oil market, looks like we caught a little bit of a bid here as a result of the that was this. This is EIA. Let's take a look at the daily. See what the daily's doing here. Okay, let's see. We're just kind of waiting for our charts to load up here. All right. So again, you can see that we've gotten over the last couple of days, right? We've been talking about the fact that we've got to reach this kind of triple bottom here, right? 1, 2, 3, right? 62 does appear to be an area of some support here, right? So every time we've come down to the 62 level, that's been met with some buying. Over the past couple of days, looks like we found maybe some buyers in this market. We still haven't broken any, we've broken some structure here to the upside, right? With this candle, we did close above prior level of resistance, but then we still have 66 above us that's lurking that has not yet to be broken. So the market is showing some signs of bullish participation. We are starting to break, again, some structure here to the upside. So daily is, I would say, looking more maybe range to bullish. Okay, range to bullish, I would say, in the crude oil market on the daily. So let's take a look at the 4-hour chart. Looking at the 4-hour chart, and just give this a second here to load. Okay, so 4-hour chart, similar kind of view, right? We've starting the staircase, right? Create a little bit of a staircase here to the upside. We've come up to a level here that was resistant, now has become somewhat supportive. So we'll see if we are able to hold this level here around 64.80. All right, 64.80 seems to be kind of 64.60 is kind of where we're at right now. So if we do manage to hold above our 9 EMA here, right? So I'm kind of let the 9 EMA kind of guide me here to determine whether we do have the continued strength. But I do see, right? I do see that we're starting to see maybe some price action that would indicate that maybe there's further upside in this market. Okay, so let's take a look here at the 30-minute chart. Looking at the 30-minute chart, let's see. Okay, so overnight really didn't offer much in the way of direction. Okay, looks like we are somewhat ranging at the moment. Trying to see if I can control this arrow that I have here. Okay, so it looks like maybe the 65 level has proven to be maybe a little bit more, certainly on the 30-minute chart. Looks like the 65 level has proven to be maybe a little bit more than what they had bargained. Okay, so on the 30-minute chart, we're seeing maybe a little bit more in the way of it looks a little bit more bearish to me than bullish. Okay, so we've been in some sort of range. We're starting to develop a little bit of structure here. I would say that the 64.30 level would be relatively important to hold. Okay, if it's going to continue this kind of bullish move that we've been seeing on the 4-hour and the daily chart. Okay, the 64.30. All right, so let's take a look and see where volume is in relation to current pricing. And so we'll start off with yesterday's session here, and we'll drag that across. We'll just kind of serve as kind of a guide here for what price action is doing. And you can see here, we're kind of at the lower end of value. Okay, so we did manage, I guess, during London to break below, found some buyers, and came back into balance. Now we are, looks like, retesting. Yeah, so Simon, it has been a consideration. Okay, but at this point, I think I'm a better service to you guys as to kind of give you context of the market. Plus, I'm not available enough to trade during the New York session. Okay, so that's also time, and I can't always predict exactly when the market's going to move. Okay, so that's also a consideration there, Simon. Okay, all right. So here we are, again at the lower end of value. I'm going to take a look here. I'm going to take a look here at the let's see, initial balance here. All right, so we're going to take a look at the initial balance, and we'll start off with the Asia session. See where Asia. So Asia offered us a nice extension here to the downside. A little bit late for me for these extensions, guys. Okay, this is too far in session in Asia for me really to participate. This is more of a London move. Okay, so it appears that London is particularly good for crude oil. Okay, so if there's anyone out here from London that wants to trade a market that provides us, some nice swings, London and crude oil seems to be a market. All right. So again, this market happens, during my sleeping time, right? So this leg right here offered us a nice little extension here to probably the 150% extension of this initial balance range. So you're seeing some signs, right? Asia, for the most part, was neutral, right, in their session. But I am seeing that during the London session that looks like we had some sellers step into this market. Okay, so we just kind of adjusted here the initial balance range. So here we are, right? We had an extension to the downside. We had a full rotation back through initial balance, and we're again at the low end of the initial balance range, looking to potentially create another leg lower, right? We see that price is below our VWAP, below our 9 EMA. Okay. Yeah, it definitely could be lucrative. But just the problem is there's 24 hours of the day, and eight of those are spent sleeping, right? So you have to kind of pick your markets. Okay, but yes, I would say crude oil and London seem to be a good pairing. All right, so if you are in London and can manage it, okay, then I would say London would not be a bad market to consider. Some of the things that we do here in some of the type of trades that we review here on these sessions. Okay, all right. Let's take a look. So we looked at the fixed range volume profile from yesterday. Looks like we did extend the range, came back inside the range. Now we're kind of retesting that same range. Now this volume, say 64.45, seems to be a relatively important level. We reacted from it once, but did not manage to create a new high, right? We just got back to what this level here and kind of found some more sellers. Yeah, we could. Gold is probably a good mover as well in the overnight. Okay, all right. So while we're seeing maybe a little bit of bullish price action on the 4-hour and the 1 hour and the daily, the lower time frame is still not embracing that 100%, right? So we are seeing a little bit of bearish price action here. I would say that it's relatively important for if we were going to remain bullish to hold the 64.25 level. Okay, I think that would be a relatively important level if we do manage potentially to let's see if I just draw this channel here. If we do manage to break above this channel at value area low from yesterday and the initial balance range from London, then maybe we could be in for maybe a leg higher. Not sure. Okay, we are seeing some price action on both sides of the market here, right? Sellers and buyers. So again, until the market decides to pick a direction, it's probably best to sit on our hands and wait for that guidance. But right now, we are seeing a little bit of price action around the level that could potentially offer us maybe a reversal in price. Yes, nice failed auction in London, right? So tail end of Asia provided a nice extension to the downside. London came in at the 50% extension of the initial balance range and offered us a nice failed auction back to the upside. So again, opportunities do exist in crude oil during the London session. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. So we've gotten through gold and we've gotten through crude oil. So before we move on to the equity markets, I'm going to go ahead and make my little plug here for the portal, encouraging you to hit the likes, hit the subscribes, make a comment or two if what I'm sharing with you has supported your analysis, supported your ability to navigate the markets. And yeah, continue to support this activity, right? Give me reason to come and provide this information for you. Okay. All right. So now that I've gotten through my little marketing, we'll go ahead and turn our attention to the equity markets, which I know that everyone is so interested in understanding. Again, positive jobs report, negative price reaction, right? So that's why we don't necessarily trade the fundamentals. I don't know what the reasoning is. All right, we get positive news reports on some of the numbers, and we get negative reaction. I don't know what that is reading into. Coffee and Coach is a great way to start the day. Thank you so much. All right, so let's take a look at the daily. Again, it's not often that we see both gold and the equities move in the same direction, but here we are, right? This is the third consecutive day of bearish price action in this market, right? 1, 2, 3, right? Developing bearish. If you are a channel person, well, you can see that maybe, I don't know. Certainly, if I hold my channel to the bodies, right, of the chart, right? Well, I don't know. What do you think? This could very well be a candle that could break below this level. And if so, it could generate a pretty strong move to at least 23,000 or 24,000 at least, okay? Would not be out of the realm of possibility here, all right? So starting to see maybe some indications here that maybe the market is changing a little bit in sentiment, right? We've been on a very strong move for most of September. Looks like we're looking to close out September, right? Looks like we're closing out September, potentially bearish. I don't know exactly, Faye, what you're referring to. If you're willing to post the article there, I'm happy to look at it. But right now, just based on what I'm seeing here, right? What I'm seeing here is maybe that there is maybe a little bit of a turn beginning in the market. All right, let's take a look at the 4-hour chart. So 4-hour chart, okay. So again, we're seeing that we're starting to get some price action, okay, to indicate that maybe we are in the beginnings of a change in market sentiment. Okay, cannot deny that, right? Let's turn off initial balance here. Okay, so again, looking at these bars, right? We got lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Okay, with volume, right? Right now we have close to 6,000 more sell orders than buy orders, right? Right? 6,000 more sell orders than buy orders at the moment. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the 30-minute. Yeah, Simon's saying September is too good, has been too good. So now people are maybe taking some money off the table. Is that what you're saying, Simon? Certainly possible. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at this. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my so you can see here. This would be interesting to see. You can see, right? Pretty strong move here to the downside. Okay. Right. Pretty strong move to the downside. We have the 9 EMA, right, guiding us that, we're starting to get some structure that's leading us to believe that maybe that we are bearish, right? Now, I don't know if I have ribbons here, but it would be interesting to see if we've gotten any ribbons that would indicate some crossovers, because I feel like we may be crossed over here or something. Okay, so again, all our moving averages, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's our All right. So all pointing to the downside. Okay. So we are very much in the beginnings of some bearish structure. Certainly on the lower time frame is telling us such. Okay. So if I open up my fixed range volume profile, I think I know the answer to this question, but we'll go ahead and confirm it. Okay. We're going to go ahead and mark this level here. Oops. Right. So again, folks are willing to pay a premium, right? Think about this. We were in balance and we drove price lower, yet people are still waiting to pay a premium to be part of this market, right? Because in order to continue to drive lower, we still need to get sell orders in order to make that happen, right? If the market isn't as a auction, like I believe it is, then in order to continue in any direction, there has to be continued participation in order for they to make that happen. So we're getting consistent participation right now to the downside in this market. Okay. And it is aggressive, right? It's dominant, currently being dominated by the sellers, and they're willing to pay a premium from yesterday. Okay. So as a potential seller, where would I like to participate in this market? Well, I don't want to participate and pay a premium, right? Do we pay premiums when we go to the local markets? No, we try to find value. Well, this is an area of value right here. Okay. 24,640. If I am a believer of this move, okay, if I feel that there is a basis for this move, and that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out myself at the moment, right? We just got some positive news on jobs, yet it caused the market to sell off. I'd like to understand the reason for that more. Okay. This area right here, this 24,630 would be a logical level for a continuation move to the downside, right? Logical. Yeah, we should wait for a discount, Aslan. That's kind of what I'm saying. We are who would want to pay the premium of the premiums? Not me, not to the short side. If I wanted to take an opportunity here to the buy side, again, I don't know. Do we want to catch a falling knife? I'm not sure, right? But from a risk reward perspective, maybe it's not a bad call. But I'd like it to be somewhere where I can kind of hang my hat and see that maybe there is some reason for it to reverse there, right? So that down here at 24,400, oh well, I see some evidence of that. So evidence of buyers. So I don't necessarily want to step in on the buy side unless I see some evidence to my left that would indicate that might be a logical area to maybe to participate. But participating on the short side, I need to see some. I need a little bit of a pullback. Okay. All right. Let's take a look across all these markets here. And again, I think Asia most likely is down. All right. So we were just talking that we were just talking about how these other markets don't offer anything beyond the gold and crude oil. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I think this is a pretty good opportunity to the downside, right? And this is a very nice extension to the downside, right? Right. So I'm going to turn off these ribbons, guys, because they're starting to bother me. Too much activity here. Okay. So again, nice extension to the downside. We came back to initial balance low, and what do we find? This is exactly what I'm looking for now, right? Nice move to the downside. Came back to a logical level where we'd expect to see some sellers, and it continues. Same thing I'm looking for now. I'm looking for a logical level, maybe the 9 EMA, maybe the VWAP, to offer me another possibility of a continuation trade to the downside. I don't want to participate in an area where I could be handed a bunch of buys, right? If I want to participate to the buy side, which is a little bit counter trend, right, based on the chart here, I can do that. I can manage my risk, but I think I would probably be better served in waiting for price to come back to a level. If I am short, okay, if I am short, I probably would be better served in waiting to sell strength. Okay. All right. Let's take a quick look at London. I'm kind of berating this because I think it's relatively significant, guys. I'm seeing some price action that could be, again, nice extension here in London, right? Nice extension to the downside. We've gotten to the 200%, maybe 300, not 300%, now maybe 250% to the downside. Okay. So a lot of bears in this market. Are we extended to the downside? Absolutely. Could we offer maybe could we look at for maybe opportunity that takes us back to VWAP? Absolutely. Is that counter trend? Yes. Okay. Right now on the lower time frame, I would say that would be a counter trend trade. I have to be wary of the fact that sellers could potentially step in at any time during this area here. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead. I'm kind of running out of time here, so let's go ahead and go through these markets here. Again, starting off with the S&P, and then we'll close out with the Dow here. Okay. Yes, we did get a nice channel break in London for sure. Okay. Yeah, we're looking at the ES. We're coming into ES right now. Okay. So ES, again, similar to the Nasdaq. I don't know about you guys. If this isn't evidence of a change in sentiment, I don't know what is. Okay. 3 consecutive candles. I understand this is developing. We are coming into the end of the month, so maybe there is a little bit of profit taking being is happening here. All I can tell you is that we are seeing a series of bearish candles here that could indicate maybe a change in direction. Yeah, you could even make a case that ES might be even looking a little bit weaker. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the 4-hour chart. Again, you can see that staircase behavior that we were seeing, right? Staircase behavior in this market. Turn off initial balance here for a moment. So you're seeing the staircase behavior that we've been talking about in the Nasdaq is also present in the ES. Okay, so maybe there is a change of sentiment going on in this market. Looking at the 30-minute chart. Okay, 30-minute chart, again, similar to what we witnessed on the Nasdaq. Is this a market that we want to buy? Maybe if we're a counter trend trader. If we're a trend trader, maybe not so much, right? Nice organized selling. Yes. Nice organized selling is going on right now. Okay. Now, could we get a rally here? Maybe back up to VWAP? Certainly. Could we get a rally maybe back to some of these levels here around, say, 60, 66.90? Absolutely. Okay. Are we in some sort of bearish structure? In my humble opinion, the answer is yes. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the initial balance. Just kind of confirm what I already know, what I feel like I already understand. Nice extension here to the downside in London, right? Nice little extension trade. 200% extension of this initial range would have made for a nice trade. Asia, okay, also I suspect gave us an extension here to the downside, right? A little bit later in Asia, right? We did make an attempt here to get higher, did not have the participants. And if you were holding this in part of Asia, you got yourself a nice opportunity. Yeah, these are combined passing moves, indeed, right? Right. Very directional, very little in the way of overlapping price. So we could, yeah. So yes, I agree. These kinds of moves are definitely combine passing. All right. So headed into this session again, similar to my view that I made on Nasdaq, I think we need to look for opportunities to potentially, participate to the downside in this market. 66.80, back up to this 9 EMA, 66.72, 66, 80. Could be some areas, maybe as high as 66.90. All of these areas provide us logical locations for a continuation trade to the downside. All right, let's take a peek here at the Dow, and we'll make one final pass across all the other markets. But the Dow, just like the other markets here, other equity markets, is probably going to tell us the similar thing here. I'm just kind of waiting. Okay, so again, you can see, right? A little bit of an exhaustive, right? A little bit of a maybe is this an exhaustive move here, right? Exhaustive move to the upside, and that followed by bearish candles. Okay, again, the Dow also giving us indications that maybe there is more downside in the coming days. All right, 4-hour chart. for our chart, staircasing in the same way that we're seeing staircasing lower in the Dow. Okay, so staircasing lower. All right, what should we be looking for? Well, let's see how in ways that we can maybe participate in these shallow retracements. Right, these shallow retracements offer us opportunity to participate in a move that appears that it wants to head lower. Looking at the 30-minute chart. Okay, so looking at the 30-minute chart, really not telling us all that much difference, right? Looking at this, you can see that we are below our 9 EMA, probably not as extended to the downside as maybe some of these other markets, but nonetheless, we are still a bit extended. I would say this 46,400, 46,420 level above me could serve as maybe a nice location for a continuation move to the downside. Okay. Oh, thank you so much, Michael. Appreciate that. For my first super chat. That's awesome, Michael. Appreciate you. Okay. All right. So in any case, guys, here we are. This location here at 46,400, 46,420 could offer us. I'm not going to go through the exercise here. I think you guys can see, right, that London offer us a nice extension to the downside, right? I would expect that. Let's just maybe take a quick peek here. Initial balance here. Tokyo. Let's open that up. Where is it? Open this up. Okay. All right. So you can see here we got a nice extension on Asia, right, to the downside, right? And again, another reference level offering us a excellent opportunity to. No, thank you, Michael. So again, offering us another reference level for a continuation move. So again, guys, what am I doing? I'm looking for something similar, right? Let me be that next swing lower. Okay, let me be that person, right? So let's be patient. Let's wait for a logical place to participate in maybe what looks like a move, right, for a further move to the downside, something along those lines. Okay. All right. So I think that's giving you enough of a picture on the equities, guys. So we're going to go ahead and do one little final pass across all the markets here, and just taking a look at the gold and seeing what kind of action we're getting in the gold. And like I said, my expectation on the gold, given the behavior or what we're seeing on the equities, that kind of sell off really should kind of maybe spur maybe some interest in gold to the upside, to be honest with you, right? Fundamentally, they're inversely correlated markets. Okay. But again, we have to respect what we're seeing on the charts. And right now we're seeing kind of rangy, maybe rangy to bearish kind of price action. Okay. So if I open up just the day session here, now today's kind of different, right? Because we have a relatively wide initial balance range here, right? So it could very well be a range day in gold. Okay. Given this wide range, we could be stuck in this range, right? So we have to be careful if we're looking for some sort of initiative price action today in the gold market. Okay. Just because of the news, it's created a relatively wide range. And I think it's going to be a little bit difficult. And if we do get an extension, it may not be all that sustained. Okay. So I'm thinking range, a little bit more range to bearish, maybe in the gold. All right. Crude oil was kind of offering me some early signs of bullish price action, but that quickly has been maybe dismissed here, maybe a little bit. We'll have to see what kind of extension we get. I do see that, we had a nice swing to the upside, and now we are in some sort of range kind of price action, range to bearish. Okay. So we'll have to wait and see which side of the initial balance range we do break, and then see if we can actually participate on that move when they decide to break. Okay. So right now, I would say, again, looking at this swing here, I have to kind of maybe give maybe a slight edge to the bears, but we really need to break 64.81 in order for me to kind of embrace that. Okay. So I would say, again, neutral to maybe bullish. Okay. In this market. Again, I'm looking at this swing here to the left of me, and this swing here to the left of me does appear to be more bullish than anything. Okay. So we'll again, sit on my hands. I'm gonna wait for a logical place to participate in the market. I'm gonna let the participants tell me, what direction. Yeah, I'm thinking buy. I'm thinking buy as well, Mark. But I'd like to see more evidence of buy. I don't like to buy when I see red, right? Buy is not necessarily red, right? So I'd like to see maybe a 3-bar reversal pattern, maybe a break of this channel to the upside, and then that could offer me maybe a nice move here to the upside. Okay. And then, guys, across all the equities here, let's see, what time do we have here? It's coming close. So across all the equities, guys, I have to admit that there does appear to be maybe some changing character in this market, as much as it pains me to say this, right? So I think we need to look for opportunities where we could potentially sell some strength, okay, unless we get some sort of indication, some sort of catalyst. I think I would look for maybe some areas above me to see how I can potentially participate here to the downside, okay? And that's across the board, right? Every equity market is giving me the same picture, okay? More or less, all pointing down to me. Okay, so again, would probably be looking at some levels above me to see if how I can participate in some sort of consolidation pattern that looks like this, right? Let me be part of something like this that would indicate a timing of when I can participate. And if it's at a level like VWAP, all the better, right? I have a logical reference level to participate in the market. So if we are shorts, if we are short the market, we need to remain patient. Okay. If we're buyers of the market, maybe this is an area where we can nibble, right, for maybe an opportunity that takes us up. But if we are sellers, I would say that I think patience is in order here. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thanks again so much, Michael, for the super chat. We're going to go ahead and close this session as we. Thank you, Coach. I love your raw, uncanny, no music, no pomp, and circumstance. No, pretty cut and dry. Sorry, Aslan. I straight to the point. And I'm trying to be as transparent as I can of what I'm seeing in the markets. Okay, so won't miss this evening like yesterday. Okay, Simon, appreciate you. It is recorded. Unfortunately, the recording I had was recording the wrong session. Although you do have the audio there, it is in Coach's Library, guys, so you can take a look at that. So again, thanks so much again, Michael, for your super chat. And thanks everyone for your continued support of the channel. Again, my goal remains to reach 1,000 subscribers, guys, and I think you guys can make that happen. Right now, I'm hovering around 890. So tell your friends about what I do and how I do it. And hopefully that will give me, again, further encouragement to maybe expand this further, give me the resources necessary to expand further. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks again. And have an excellent boss man. Always dropping wisdom. Yes, Mark. I try my best. Okay. All right, guys. Have an excellent day trading, guys. Be patient with the equity markets if you're short, and we'll talk again very soon. Okay. Trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. Thanks again, guys. And thank you again, Michael. Yeah, that's the goal, Mark. I'd like to be able to claim 1,000 subscribers here by the end of October. Definitely.